I do have, I think maybe we should tell two other stories I can think about when we were kids with some of these cars.
Okay.
One of them would be that I just think is funny, and it's really stupid, and I hope that none of the kids in our family will do this, but we'll see. You were in the process of moving in to the Windjammer.
Oh, no. Wait a minute. Are you going back to the van? Another purpose for having the van.
Yes.
And no, I don't mean to move. Well, one of our favorite movies back in the day was what? Teen Wolf?
Teen Wolf. Michael J. Fox.
And if anybody remembers that, what they did in the movie was...
What did they do?
They called it surfing.
Yeah.
Somebody got on top of the van while the other person drove it down the street, and they did a little surfing on.
Look, man, we got some fine new wheels, we got some good tunes, and a total disregard for public safety. You're right. Okay, let's go.
All right,
Surf's
baby.
up. Wait a minute. These waves are mine.
We'll all be planning out a route we're gonna take real soon. We're waxing down our surfboard. We can't wait for June. We'll all be gone for the summer. We're on safari to stay. Tell the teacher we're surfing USA.
On top of the van.
Here's my question. You were driving.
I was driving.
I was
now,
sitting.
wait a minute. First of all, we weren't on the streets. We did not do that on the streets.
Oh, that was going through the parking lot, wasn't
Yes, it
Okay.
was.
All right.
Yes, it was.
That's the part I couldn't remember.
But although I wouldn't say that back in our day,
That we
that's
wouldn't
not
have.
kind of stuff that we didn't do. And I'm not just saying
Right.
us. People did. Kids did.
Right.
And
most
our
of them
parents
got really
did
hurt.
worse than that,
Sure.
So, but yeah, we did it in the parking lot. But yeah, we did do it. I remember you being up there.
I was surfing, but my question was,
Oh yeah.
you were driving, I was sitting there. So who was the one that looked at the other person and said, "Hey, surf's up"? I don't know if you said it. Or
I don't
if said
remember.
it.
You know what? Now that I'm thinking, I don't think it was the black van either.
No, it was a moving van.
It was a work van. No, it was one of my work vans.
vans,
For
which
the
was
company I worked for.
Yeah.
We delivered. We had two vans.
Yeah.
And I think they let me borrow one of them.
Had they known that,
It was
that
a
would've
newer
been the end of
Ford that we had. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
So that was their van.
So I remember going through the entire parking lot at Windjammer, surfing on the top of this van as you're driving around the parking lot, going through, weaving in between all the cars.
Was it harder or easier than it looked on the movie?
I had no issues. But part of
So
that's the
easier?
driver too.
I
But,
wasn't going fast enough.
but you weren't going very fast. But I just remember when we pulled up. Your apartment there in Windjammer was on the second floor.
Yes.
And Deb came walking out, and I'm damn near eyeball to eyeballs. We pull up, and she's standing there looking over the balcony, and I pull up, and I'm almost the same height as her. I could almost damn near just grab the balcony and jump over, which I might have done. I don't remember. But
Did she just roll her eyes?
she
and
just
turn
looked
around?
like, what is wrong with you two? You guys are losers. But I remember that story, and I wanted to talk about that, about the surfing, because that was...
Oh, I forgot.
That was
Till you
fun.
brought it up.
That was fun.
That was fun.
And then the other thing would probably be the race. Should we talk about that?
We can talk about
You
that.
want to talk about it? You want to start?
I don't know. Our kids are listening, and my grandkids might be listening one day.
It's a different time.
Okay, don't ever do this, anybody. Not anymore. It's too dangerous.
Don't try this at home.
Don't try this at home
With your
or
own
at
cars.
work.
When you're a dumb young man like we
Okay,
were.
so we're calling it the race.
Well, yeah.
So
yeah.
let me set the backstory.
All right, you do it.
I'm driving my Starfire,
Uh-huh.
my first car. You're driving your Chevelle, your first car.
Yes, sir.
I had a V6 231, I believe, and you had a straight six 230.
Yes. Both made by General Motors, I might
Both
add.
made by General Motors.
It's really the same
So-
freaking motor.
It's late night. I think it may have been after work one night. I think you came up to my work, so it's got to be one in the morning.
Was it that late?
Yeah, I bet
Okay.
it was midnight, 1 o'clock. You came up to my work, I think,
Even
which was
better.
crazy because I'm working. So you come up to my work as I'm leaving so we could drive home in separate cars together, you know, because that's what you do.
That's what you did in the 80s. You got a car, I got a car. Gas costs
So
80
what
cents
road
a
were
gallon.
we
Let's
on?
go. It was Garden Road.
We were on
It was
Garden Road.
Road.
Of course, back in the day, no traffic. I mean, not many people lived back there.
No.
The fact that you lived on
Long
Christie.
stretch of land with no lights.
Long stretch of land, no traffic, no lights, especially at that time of night. There was hardly ever any. What there was that night.
Yeah. There
So
was both.
okay, so what happened? We're driving down Garden. Who was in front? You remember?
I
who
want
was
to say
following who?
I want to say I was following you. That's no, because that's what I recall.
You were following. I was following you.
You were following me. Okay.
Who was in the left lane? Who was in the right?
You were in the left lane.
Yes, sir.
I remember that part.
Yes.
So you're in the left lane, and then for whatever reason, we decide as we're going down Garden
Well,
Road,
I was passing you.
you were trying to pass me,
And you said,
and I said,
"No,
"Oh,
sir."
hell no." So all I know is I floored it
As I was already.
at the same time as you were already doing it, and you probably could have measured within an inch or 2 inches off of our front bumpers.
It just
nobody
worked
was
out
passing
perfect.
nobody.
We were right next to each other. I mean, I could look at you and read your lips. We were face
Yeah, we
to
could have a
face.
conversation. Yeah.
Yes. Going as fast as those cars would go.
Which
was 90, I think.
it was, yeah. I think that's what the
Somewhere
speedometer-
around
90.
My speedometer, I think, topped out at 85.
Yeah.
And I don't remember how far. Yours went to 120, I think.
Either that or 110, but yeah.
So
It went over it, so yeah.
yeah. But I know I was pegged and past it, and I don't know what yours said. But
It was as pegged as far as it was
Yeah.
going to go.
yes. So what happened?
So we, as we're coming up, Garden, if people don't understand this, Garden Road runs east and west.
Yes.
And we were heading what would probably be west at
Yes.
that point.
Yes, sir.
So we're flying and heading there. And it goes right up to Chrissy Road, which is the road that's where Mom and Dad's house was at.
Right.
So, and when you went to Chrissy Road, it dead ended into Chrissy Road. So
Right,
it
it's a
stopped.
T, right.
Yeah, it was a T. So now you have to literally go north and south.
Yes.
So as we're approaching the stop sign, because there's no light there, just a stop sign.
Don't do this at home.
Don't do this. As I'm pulling up, obviously I'm not going to take the turn at 90.
Right.
So I
We
knew
both
this.
slowed down.
So we both started to slow down. As we started to slow down, I happened to look over I think it was my right shoulder, looking over the right side, if I'm recalling correctly, and I see headlights. Mm-hmm. And I went, oh, crap, there's a guy coming. So I come to a stop at the corner, like a good man should.
Like a good man should.
It should. And somebody decided,
I'm the older brother. I have to win.
and he's like, I see my opportunity. I'm going to go around him, and I'm going to head north
Now
on Chrissy
remember,
Road.
I'm already in the wrong lane
Yeah, yeah,
because I'm going the wrong way
Yeah.
and the left lane because it's a
Yeah.
2-lane highway.
yeah. And you just haul ass around that corner.
Didn't stop.
Didn't stop. Practically went up on 2 wheels, making that turn.
No.
Close to it. Close to it. So, but yeah, and then of course that other guy like slams on his brakes, and you
He
swerve
didn't slam
around
on his
him.
brakes.
Didn't he?
No,
Oh,
I wasn't that close to him.
He
was coming.
You were pretty close.
I'm sure I scared the hell out of him.
Yeah,
Which-
and your brother that's sitting there watching the whole thing, sitting at the light, sitting there watching, going,
Yeah, not one of my better moments.
but. So is it official? Did I lose? Did you win that race? And
Absolutely, I won that race.
damn it,
So I'm 1-0.
you are. Oh, this is not going good.
And we're not racing again
Why
because
not?
we haven't finished our car story. And if we were to go now, it's not fair. Truck versus truck.
Truck versus truck.
I'll beat you in that one too.
I don't know. I got a 5. Well, it's 5-3.
Come on.
Yeah, you probably got me on that one. So
I'm sorry.
truck versus truck, but I did put a different tune on it too.
Yeah. Okay.
So it's definitely quicker. But I think you're going to get me on the high end.
I think so.
So I might get you on the low end and surprise you and go, "What the heck?" But then after that, I think you'll get me. So as far as the car story, okay. So then after where we leave off at, I had the '69, then the '70 Chevelle. Had that for quite some time. Then the auto industry took a plunge. This is going down back to like 08,
Oh
09.
yeah.
Car industry took a plunge. Sold that car to a guy in North Carolina. Came out in the middle of winter. Snow all over the place.
Wow.
This is a posi rear end, rear wheel drive.
He drove it out of here?
He drove it back home
wow.
during a snowstorm. And I thought, you better have me. You better pay me before you leave, Jack, because if you're going to wire me that money, it may never show up. You crash that thing. But he drove it home. He was successful. And he did it. But it was heartbreaking to watch that car pull out the driveway.
Yeah, that was a fun.
He bought it at the dealership, and that was
a fun car.
Yeah. So he did that, and he bought it, and it was gone. And then, we sold that, and thank goodness we didn't owe anything on it. So that was able to help with mortgage payments and everything else for the time being until the auto industry went back up. And then later on in life, I'm trying to think when that was, but it had to be, I was back working at York, and I'm moving on to the 08 now, because I'm thinking that's probably what was next. I happened to be at work and was sitting in my office, which was on the south side of Central Avenue, and across the street we had a small dealership there for York, and that was where all the real high mileage old stuff was at the time, right? And I just happened to look over there, and there's this bright orange something or other sitting there. And I'm like, what in the hell is that?
Why would you be drawn to an orange car?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah. So, anyways, I happened to see it, and it's a Charger, and it's a Daytona Charger. And
What?
Hold on. So I just remember the quick stories. I go over there, and I look at the car, and then from the exterior, just walking around it, it's very clean. No major rust, no rust holes, no stuff hanging.
Gotcha.
The rims don't have road rash on them, nothing like that.
Yeah.
So I go get the keys. I go outside. It's got remote start. It works. It starts right up, and it sounds solid. And I went, okay. Because I looked at the sheet on it, had 150,000, 140,000 miles
Okay.
on it. So I'm thinking, okay, give me the grocery list of stuff that's wrong with it, right?
Right.
So anyway, so I take the car and I drive around. As I'm driving around, I realize, hey, it's got heated seats. Wow, these are like leather suede type seats. Oh, look, there's a sunroof. Oh, it's got navigation. Oh, wait a minute, it's got the built-in HD disc player, so you can literally download music into it and it'll store it in there like a hard drive, right? So I'm like, wow, it's got all these great features there. So I take it to my buddy who's a mechanic, and I put it up on the air, and I said, just put it on the lift. I'm looking at this thing. And he goes, okay. And I said, just give me the grocery list and come see me later. So he goes, okay. A couple hours later, he comes over to my office, and he sits down, and I'm just waiting for him to go, dude, it needs this, and the tranny's got this. I'm waiting, right? He goes, well, for us to put on the lot, he goes, there's only one little thing, and it was part of the front end suspension. I'm trying to think if it was a linkage or something, but he said it's so minor. If I fix it, it's $100 to fix it. I go, okay.
Geez.
And he goes, I remember it's like 100 or 125 with labor. He says, but it's not bad yet, but it's going, and it's going to be.
Yeah.
And he goes, and it's to the point where we wouldn't even fix it as a dealership because it's not a safety thing.
Right.
So I looked at him. I said, shit. Fix it. So he fixed it. I bought the car, paid less than 10 for it.
Oh, wow.
Back then, right?
Right.
And then brought it home, and Tyler freaked out because I sent pictures to Tyler. I said, what do you think about this? Oh, Dad, you got to get it. So then I got it home, and I've got a temp tag in the back, right? And a temp tag there and everything. And then Tyler's like, oh, what's that license plate? Does that mean you bought it? I said, no.
So how old was Tyler at the time?
He was born in 2002, so he was 6.
Oh, wow.
I bought it when Abby was like 1 maybe, so he was 6 or 7 or 8 years old. He was under 10.
Yeah.
And then we've had it ever since. I think I'm right around 10 years of ownership of that car now.
Right.
So
now your kids won't let you sell it now.
Yeah, and then that's the other story. Deb and I are getting, closer and closer to retirement, like a lot of people. That's our collective ages, and so I just told Deb, I said, hey, I've been thinking about this. I said, I want to buy my retirement car. She goes, what do you mean your retirement car? I said, well, I love the Charger. We call it the Beast, the orange one. The Daytona's the Beast. And I'm like, I love the Beast, and he's great, and we've done all this stuff to it, and we fixed him up, and he's, all this stuff. And I go, but he's got 174,000 miles now. What's the odds that this thing's going to last me? How many years into my retirement I'll have to get rid of it?
Right.
Okay. So I said, so I'd like to replace it with something. Well, what do you want? I said, I don't know. I said, I'm not going to get another 69. They're too much money. They're all 6-figure cars. Not doing that. And besides that, I already know what it's like when you own one.
Right.
So I'm not doing that. So anyways, I just started looking, and I just got my eyeball, and I found another '08 Charger. It's a B5 blue, and it's a Super B. And it's an SRT 8 car. So it's everything this Daytona isn't. The Daytona's got a 5.7 Hemi, right?
Uh-huh.
So it's a big V8, and it's powerful and fun. But the '08 Super B is a 6.1 motor, which is a special motor that was used only for a few years, right? But it's an SRT, so it's the fastest thing that they have. So I was looking for that, looking. Well, then I find this guy that's got one with less than 21,000 miles on it. And of all places, he lives where? Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland, Ohio. So I tell Deb about it, and I said, here's the plan. I'm going to buy the blue one, right? Then when I get it here and I have it, I'm going to turn around and sell the orange one. I'm going to take the money from the orange one. This was the deal. Take the money from the orange one, put it on the blue one. So now I've got very little invested, hopefully, right?
Right.
And I said, and then there you go. And she said, why would you buy it now? And I said, because then that way, Yark pays for it. I use my money and my salary, and I'm not using my retirement to pay for the car, right? So I thought that made a lot of sense. Well, we find the car, happens to have a supercharger in it, so it's like 800 horsepower or something stupid, tuned down from almost 1,000. He tuned it down because it was so radical, if you remember the story, because you were there.
I remember.
So he tuned it down. So anyways, that's what I did is I bought that car. You took me out there to see the car. We buy it, and then we drive it home.
Yeah.
And then I put the Daytona the next day on Facebook Marketplace, and I get like 3, 4, 5, 6 hits of somebody wanting to buy it.
Right.
So then I tell Deb, I said, this thing's not going to stick around very long. It's going to go. I got too many people, doing it. And then she calls a family meeting. Man, the kids and I don't, she doesn't sound like this. The kids and I don't want you to do that. We want you to keep it. It's kind of part of the family. And I just kind of giggled under my breath because, that's the story of the General Lee. It's,
Right.
So they said, so I was about to say to her, well, hey, what do you, I don't want a couple of, multicolored Chargers in the driveway. And then this other little devil angel here started whacking me in the side of the ear going, shut up. Your wife wants you to keep 2 muscle cars, idiot.
I remember when you did that and we're talking about selling it.
Yeah.
I was considering buying it from you.
Oh, see? Keep it in the family.
Yeah.
Keep it at the
I'm
family.
like, because you offered it, and I'm like, yeah, nah. But I'm like, man, I don't know. I don't know if I can pass that car up. If he's going to sell that might be.
It's just a fun car.
Worth having. Oh, it's just so pretty.
And then we drove it to Georgia, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was
and
fun.
it really proved its worth.
Which we wouldn't have done.
No.
If you sold it.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
Yeah.
So I think that covers pretty much all my cars, doesn't it?
I think that covers almost everything.
Everybody's. I think yours and mine.
Well, you finally got your truck, though.
Yeah, and then I finally got another truck and bought that '08 Chevy Silverado. It's got 120,000 miles on it, but it's probably as clean interior and exterior wise as that Charger was that I had.
Yeah.
It's just so clean. And other than this poor little girl driving down the street on her bicycle running into my car, it's had 0 damage on it.
I can't believe that. Well, I can't believe that.
It's going to happen.
Of course, that's not your first truck.
Nope. Mm-mm. No, the
You
S10
did?
was my first truck. But I had
Well,
another
that was your
truck.
first truck. What was your first full-size truck? You did have another one.
I did.
And that stayed in the family,
It
as I
did.
recall.
Yeah. You needed a truck?
My brother did me a solid. He had this $200 truck. I don't know what you paid for it at Yark. Not much. It wasn't Yark. I don't know where you were
Ed
working at
Schmidt.
the time. Ed Schmidt.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you
It was a wholesale trade-in.
just this, wholesale trade and clunker of a truck. No exhaust. It was loud as hell. And
Loved it.
Yeah, but it was a full size, long bed.
Yeah, long bed. Regular cab.
Yeah, GMC. And you were driving it to and from work, I think. Is that what you drove mostly? Just to and from work?
Yeah.
And I needed the car at the time, and you gave it to me. And
Yep. I signed over the title and go, here you go.
yeah, which
Love
was really awesome. And then I had it for a long time.
Yeah.
That truck, you gave it to me. It had 250,000 miles
Yeah,
on
it's
it.
200 plus.
When I got rid of it, it had over 300,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
And that truck was
Yeah.
one of the best running trucks I had.
Yeah.
I
We
mean,
did some stuff to it.
I mean, it's not a brand new Dodge Ram.
Oh,
Don't get me
God,
wrong, but
no.
that truck ran great. Never had. And the funny thing was, remember how bad it leaked oil?
It did leak a lot of oil.
For I don't know how many years I had that truck, I put oil in it every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Swear to God.
Oh, yeah.
I
Had to.
I was, O'Reilly or Murray's was open for a long time because of me. Because I kept going and buying oil every week. That was back when it wasn't expensive, and I was buying cases, because I just put it in the back seat.
Get that oil order for missing? Yeah.
It was too funny. Then it started coming out that high mileage oil. Remember they had that?
Yep.
So every once in a while I'd throw one of those in there. But it was just hysterical. I mean, that truck wouldn't stop running.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
And this is a surprise question that
Oh,
I didn't
no.
tell you about.
Don't do this.
But it's car related,
Okay.
and it's from our childhood.
Okay.
Some of this I'm sure, because you obviously have a much more solid memory than I do for all this stuff. Because
I don't, but okay.
Oh, I'm getting half of this wrong, or getting left lane to right lane, and you're like, nope, you were in front, I was in back.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. But anyways, there was something that happened to me that you were there with me, and what it was is that there was a party that somehow or another we were never invited to, but we had to go to it. Cindy was dating Catfish, Pat.
Oh, yeah. I'm not going to remember this like you do.
Well, this thing, I just remember that Cindy was going to go to this party. And back in this day, we were pretty young. I would say that I was at the most 10.
So I'd be 12.
I would
around
think,
there.
because I know Dukes was hot on
Yes.
TV. Dukes was hot, okay.
Yes.
So we go over to this guy. Now, this guy had and I looked it up. I'm pretty sure it was an old Grand Am.
Yes.
Okay. When Grand Am's Pontiac made
70s.
was big. It was
Yes.
a big car,
Yeah.
right? It's like a big old Cutlass, right?
Yeah, big car.
So, but he had a nice one.
Yes, he did.
Sounded solid. Sounded like a muscle car.
Oh, yeah.
And he had a whole bunch of buddies, and all of them had different kinds of muscle cars.
If I remember correctly, Pat let you back that up in the driveway at Fleet Road one day, and you barely gave it any gas that you didn't think, but it spun the tires completely.
He
Just
goes, easy.
yeah, easy. I think you were sitting on his lap and did that, and it was like, yeah, that's too much.
Yep.
Because it don't need gas.
No.
Yeah, that was a fast car.
But we went to this party, and Cindy went, and somehow or another, she got hosed into having to take her two little brothers.
Right. Don't know how that happened.
And I don't know exactly how that happened, so we need to get Cindy maybe on the phone at some point and ask her about this.
Yeah.
Because I want to get her memory. But I just remember going there, and in the... What's that?
It's late.
Oh, it's getting... I can't call her tonight then. We'll call her in another episode.
We'll call it another episode.
But anyways, there was a guy that had a 69 Charger there.
Okay.
That was there.
I don't remember that.
Oh, okay, maybe remember this. So Pat made a big deal about it because it was an orange Charger. It was orange.
Okay.
And it didn't have any of the decals or nothing on, but it was a very pretty car. And from what I can remember as a kid, it was in really good shape. But of course, I probably, it could have a bunch of rust on it, and I'd look right past it. So anyway, so this guy says, oh, you guys like the Dukes of Hazzard? And we're like, oh, yeah. He goes, you want to go for a ride? Do you not remember this?
I vaguely remember a ride.
So we sit, you and I are in the back seat. Pat's in the front passenger, and this other guy's driving. It's his car, so he's driving.
I vaguely remember.
And we go down the side street near his house, and this guy takes off, and Pat says, give him a good time. And he looked at Pat and he goes, you sure? And he goes, these guys are good. You're fine, right? So this guy goes down one of the side streets, and I'm in the back seat, right? And I remember looking out Pat's window, and I'm looking straight down the road because we're going down the road sideways. And that car's spinning tires, and the motor's making all kinds of noises. And to me, it was like listening to a love song.
Right.
I was like, I got to have one of these. I got to have one of these.
That was where your love was.
Oh, my God, yeah. It's just,
see?
And I just remember that.
I love it from the show, but I don't remember. I vaguely remember going for a ride. I don't remember it being that crazy.
It was, I just remember doing that, and then he came back, and I don't think Cindy was overly excited with the facts. I think she was standing outside and saw us coming down the street sideways. But anyways, so I just wanted to see if you remembered that story at all. But I remember that was the first time I ever rode in one of those cars.
I remember the party. I remember a lot of people being there. And I remember Pat playing the drums at one point.
Yeah. Was it a graduation party maybe?
I think it was a graduation. I don't remember. But it was just some sort of party. I'm not really sure. Maybe Cindy had to babysit, and we weren't supposed to be there. I don't know. Not to get Cindy in trouble. I don't think that was the case. I don't think that was the case. I don't remember Cindy ever taking us out of the house. Of course, I mean, how would I know if mom or dad gave permission or not? But I don't remember. And it wasn't like every weekend we were at a party with her and her friends. I'm not saying
that's why I remember it, because it was so unusual.
But I don't remember why we were there.
Because we were always at home
Maybe
on Friday
it was
nights.
once in a lifetime thing. I don't remember, but yeah.
We talked about this a while ago, too. We talked about the Mount Rushmore for cars, right?
Yes. You did.
Well, we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, we talked about it.
So what I was thinking, I want to ask you, we can do it one of two ways.
Okay.
Mount Rushmore has 4 heads on it, right? It's got 4 presidents.
Okay.
I want us to put, out of the cars that we talked about tonight,
Okay.
I want us to do our own Mount Rushmore. You can do 4 of your own cars, or you can do 2 and 2. 2 of yours and 2 of mine.
Okay. So I'm going to give you a Mount Rushmore, then you give me a Mount Rushmore?
Yeah, but it would be like, if you're going to do 4 of your cars, then it's your Mount Rushmore of your 4.
Yeah, because
top
if I do both of ours, they're all going to be 4 yours.
Well, no, I mean, you would pick 2 and then I would pick 2. I'd pick my 2, you pick your 2.
Yeah, but if we were still, or I only had to pick 2 of mine, I can only pick 2 of mine. Well, what do you want to do? Because if I pick 4, it's going to be 4 of yours.
Oh, well, no.
Obviously.
Then I want you to do 4 of yours.
4 of mine?
4 of yours, your top 4. From your childhood.
Actually, I think the blue Ram's going to be on there. The
That's a nice
17.
car.
I love that truck.
That's a hell of a nice car. Or do 2.
The light blue Ram was just, I got comments on it.
Well, they're all Laramies, right?
People
They were Laramie
No,
trucks?
the first one was not a Laramie. The first one was a Bighorn.
It was a Bighorn, that's right.
Yeah, it was that light blue color, which they don't make anymore.
Is that the Patriot Blue?
I don't know if that's what it was called.
Okay.
They don't make it now. But, because I think that was the last year. It was either that or 18 was the last year they made that blue. And I was like, why did you get rid of that blue?
Right.
But I'd pull into a gas station. Oh, that's a nice truck.
Yep.
I don't get that anymore.
Yeah.
My other trucks are brand new Laramies. I don't get that from people anymore. I did with that blue one. People looked. And I always wanted the Ram. That was a brand new one. I loved it. So that would go on there. Also, of my cars, the Z24.
That's a good one.
Yeah, I liked that one, the Z24. Man, it's kind of difficult because what am I going for here? Am I going for
the ones that are near and dear in your heart?
Near and dear in my heart?
Yeah.
I mean, the Cutlass would have to go up there. I've had it for 40 years.
You've owned that car longer than any other car.
Yeah, almost 40 years. I mean, I've had it. It's maybe sitting in my yard, not running with no motor, but I've had it forever, so it's got to go up there, I guess, for what it always could have been, what I wanted it to be.
Right.
And I'm going to throw the Starfire in there for the last one because it was my first car, and I turned it into something nicer than when I got it. I mean, I put a lot of work into that car, and I had 2 accidents in that car. The first one, insurance paid for it.
Right.
Second one, I paid for it. I fixed it completely myself. We bought that front end. Remember, we had to change the front end.
Yep.
Bought a whole new front end and did all the body work myself. Didn't paint it. Had a paint job from Mako, but it looked nice. I changed the color.
Yeah,
I had the new tires. I had the mud flaps. I had the louvers. I had the fog lights in the grill. Everything in that car.
I think I helped you wire those, didn't I?
Didn't huh?
Did I help you wire one of those?
Oh, sure. Sure you did.
I thought so.
And,
I remember that for
the running lights. I love those running lights. Mm-hmm. It'd start snowing, and I'd go out and pull my covers off and turn the running lights on. I could see for miles. Turn off the headlights. You could see for miles. It was great, but illegal as hell, but they worked well.
But it did the job, baby.
But yeah, those would be my 4.
Okay. All right. I think for you, I do put, and I'm just going to go through them real quick. I definitely agree with the Starfire because, I mean, it's the first one. You have to, and you did so much to it. The Camaro was even if you didn't do anything to it, it was truly you. It was quick. It was fast. It was muscle.
Yeah.
You loved that
I did.
car.
I
That
did
was a
love that
cool
car.
car. And I think the Cutlass has to go on there, obviously, because it's a beautiful Cutlass when you first got it, and when we drove it before you pulled the 350 rocket out of it. And then your fourth one really could be almost any truck, but I think you're right. I think that first Bighorn,
Yeah.
the blue one, that was sweet.
Yeah.
That was really sweet. For me, if we switch gears and just go to my cars, obviously my black 68's got to be up there. That was my
Yeah.
firstborn and my baby. My silver 69 Charger's got to be up there.
Oh, definitely.
Because it was just,
Like you said, too nice.
yeah, it was just,
Too nice to own.
yeah. And plus that was my dream car.
Yeah.
Year, make, model, pretty much everything else except for the color. I think you have to put the orange Daytona on there just because of the Georgia trip, the
Yes.
stuff that we've done with
Yes.
it and to it.
Yes.
Tyler and I have the experience of ripping that whole front end off and redoing that whole front
Yep.
end together, father and
Yeah.
son. That does stuff, you know.
Oh, yeah.
I think that 70 blue Chevelle's got to be up there.
That's
You know.
that's exactly what I would pick for your 4.
So. Well, I've got one more.
Oh, you got 5th?
No, I got 4.
that
I got
3?
I did 2 Chevelles and 2 Chargers. No, that's it. You're right. You're right.
I thought
That was
I
it.
was having a math fart right there
No,
for a minute.
for a minute there, I was debating between the orange one and the blue one,
Oh, yeah.
and then I said, "No, man,
Gotta be the orange one because your family wouldn't let you get rid of it.
yeah." And with what Tyler and I did with
Just
it,
like
and
you
what
said,
and
it's a
I did
family
with it,
car. Yeah.
it is. So that car's
Yeah, and the trip down to
Yeah.
Georgia really adds
Yeah.
to that, and all the work you did on it.
yeah. I would agree with you on that. I think that's probably our best
Yeah.
best setup for those things.
Yeah, those are good Mount Rushmores. I like those.